briefing spoke about Portland. She said that the feds a lot of national news lately. Let me break down the latest for you. This morning, Caroline Levitt at a press briefing spoke about Portland. She said that the feds will be investigating the Portland Police Bureau for arresting conservative journalist Nick Sortor. That happened earlier this morning. She also said that they'd be looking at cutting more federal funding to Portland, and she also said that they will be sending more immigration federal agents here to Portland. I'm outside the ICE facility right now looking to talk to people on both sides of this issue who are here. Right now it's pretty calm, as it usually has been throughout the day, and then at night things start to get heated up.
Crazy.
I'm told things could get more heated up today with not just that federal news that I just mentioned, but also here in Oregon, a federal judge is set to decide whether or not to grant the state its request for a temporary pause on the deployment of Oregon's National Guard here at ICE. So we're just going to step over and talk to some folks who have some opinions about the protest here, and then we'll cross over and talk to some of the protesters. Did you guys want to offer some comments? Sure. Okay. Can you tell me your name?
Monica Vinton.
And then what are you here for today?
I just had an appointment here in town, and I knew I was close by, so I just wanted to come down and see what was going on down here. I just kind of figured there probably wouldn't be much going on during the day, but probably tonight, but just out of curiosity.
And you have some opinions about the National Guard and what's going on here?
I don't have a problem with the National Guard coming in. I've got two boys that are just retired National Guard, and they're all for the Guard coming in. So, you know, that's my stance, and that's
bring him in. I don't care.
Too, so
why would I care?
Just need to get something done down here.
What is it that you're saying needs to get done?
I don't mind. People can protest, but when you start when you start creating more problems and people getting assaulted, that kind of thing, and the police don't show up to take care of the problem, and that's not just down here, it's all over Portland, because I've had personal experience with that as well, but when they don't show up down here, it's like they have their hands tied by the mayor.
Yeah, that's what I think exactly what's happening. Listen, guys, last night, Nick Sortor was arrested. We're going to get into the video clips, the details. He's like a big guy on X and like a reporter. And the Portland protests, these people have been protesting ICE and immigration. And so they've been out there for I don't know how long. And it's been getting kind of crazy, sometimes violent. And they're out there through all hours of the night. And so now today, the White House commented on the arrest of Nick Sortor. And it's been just kind of a messy, crazy situation. And Trump was talking about sending in the National Guard.
So,
you know, they were here and made some arrests this morning, right?
I did hear that. I did hear that they finally made some arrests, and I also heard that they had arrested the guy that you were just talking about. I don't really know who he is.
It got so much so because the people were pressing the police. The police just did a press conference like an hour ago, or less than an hour, actually. They did a press conference, so we're going to watch that. And I think it's like what this lady is saying. It's like they're beholden to the mayor or some type of shit. I've seen a lot of the videos and live streams of these protests out there. And I've seen many times where something violent happens and the cops don't do shit. I mean, something drastic has to be for these cops to step in and do anything. It's crazy.
But I did see that this morning from someone else who does some stuff down here, does some journalism and stuff down here. So I did hear about that.
You know, there's people who would say there's been violence on both sides. Do you agree with that?
I'm sure there's some violence on what they would call the right, but I think a very minute amount. I think if there was more on the right, you'd probably see a lot more of it on TV, and you just don't see it. I would think that the left would be really throwing that out there, but I haven't really seen any, so not enough to speak of anyway.
What kinds of outlets are you watching on?
Oh Lord, I pull up everything. It's mostly like independent journalists and stuff like that I'll pull up. I'll look at some CNN, MSNBC, And then you go over to the other side, and you've got, I think, like it's like Newsmax and Fox, and I mean, I just kind of throw a lot of it in there just to just kind of get different opinions and see what's going on. You know, what their take is on it.
Thanks.
Things.
Thanks for sharing your opinion. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay,
Did you
thank
want to
you.
say anything?
No,
I don't think
she's
so.
fine. Okay, but thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
She said, no, she's speaking for her too. What, is she under your control? No, she's fine. No, she don't know nothing. Don't say nothing. Shut up.
Thank you. I know
Shut
that
up.
you had said you would like to chat. Can you share your name?
Sure, Verdell. Briggs.
Sorry, say that again.
Verdell.
Okay. And then tell me a little bit about what you're doing here today.
I live in this neighborhood, so I came down here to see what's going on. My dog's scared of all the loud noises that happen at nighttime, and I'm really sick of this. So I decided I'm gonna come and see for myself what's going on, once in the daytime and once at nighttime, because when you have like media outlets are like battling over propaganda, and you can't tell what's going on when they're both painting it completely different. It's kind of ridiculous. And I live in the neighborhood, and I can't even tell what's going on because the propaganda is so heavy.
So having been here at night yourself, then what do you think is actually going on?
So I haven't gone to at night yet. I'm going to come back tonight or tomorrow night, but I'm here in the daytime checking it out right now.
I'm going to check out tonight. I'm going to see what's going on. It's Friday night. I might come back on later too. If I can find some feeds, let's see what's going on.
Pictures of different graffiti and things like that, trying to get a vibe for, what's going on.
What do you think's going on?
I think that our governor and the president are playing with us, using our city for national politics. I think Tina Kotek and everybody that runs Portland, they have an opportunity to make a deal with the federal government so that we could get something good out of this. Because the federal government is going to throw money at trying to support the ICE operations and all this, and then our city is going to take our money, our hard-earned money, and then they're going to sue the federal government. They both work for us. So I'm pissed off that our government, they're playing games. They're all rich people doing whatever they want. They don't have to suffer the consequences of their actions and them not getting along. And that's what we hired them to do. They're our elected officials. And I'm pissed off that our city is not recovering financially since the pandemic in 2020. Businesses are leaving. Tourists don't want to come here.
Yeah, who wants to go over there? It's true. Tourists are leaving. Anytime I ever think of Portland, I think of all the videos that I've seen. It looks like a dump, and I mean that specific area, and those people out there. I'm not saying all of them because there are some decent people out there, but these people in the crowds that you're seeing, they look all trashy. There's no decency. Just I don't know. There's just the more I talk about it, the more videos I keep seeing. I'm going to show you guys more and more videos. We're just giving it a chance for people to join. This interviews just happened like about an hour ago, so I'm like letting this kind of warm it up and let people join the stream.
And that affects me negatively. That affects my community, my family, and I'm disappointed in the whole thing.
So it sounds like you have more the point of view of the bottom line, money, and are you picking sides between protesters and ICE or Kotek and Trump and whatnot?
No, I'm somebody that doesn't like to be like very vocal on social media or politically. I try and figure out what's going on in the world, and I read books, and I make sure that I stay up to date on what's going on. And I stay educated, but I'm not saying that it's just a bottom line thing. I know that there's people here that are being affected. There's families that are being affected. Families on both sides. But what I'm saying, the core of what I'm saying is that fighting against ICE, what is that going to do? Fighting against the federal government. What if they make a deal, help ICE get the criminals, and they cut a deal so they stop targeting like families that are just working? And you see all these stories. I know that it's heartbreaking. It's not just it's not just about the money. It's not just about the city of Portland. There's families that are having their life messed up really bad. I'm trying not to cuss on TV, but you know what I'm saying. But what the Democrats are doing is terrible too. Open borders and all this is not fair. So why don't they try and make lemonade out of a bad situation? Why don't they try and help ICE go after the criminals so that they can focus their efforts on that, and they can stop arresting people randomly or doing whatever they have to do because they have no support locally. What do you expect? They're treated like pariahs in the city, and I saw the list of people that ICE is looking for, like murderers and rapists and stuff. So it's like, stop helping them just hit their quota by arresting anybody that they want that's illegal, right? Actually give them access to the criminals, I guess, because it doesn't make sense. It's like, it's not a black and white issue, you know? Like, there is problems. There's people that are being affected negatively by ICE that is really not fair to them. And then there's also our elected officials that are like helping the bad guys get away, you know, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So it's not good for the common people. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. That's not good for you.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing your opinion. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Have a good day. We're gonna walk across the street now and talk to some cameras. So.
Shit looks like Skid Row. Is that Skid Row?
With us, did one of you want to step up first? Okay, awesome. Can you share your name?
I would not like to.
Okay, can you share a nickname?
You can call me Jay.
Okay, Jay.
Jay.
What are we doing here? What's going on here?
We are currently organizing over here. We got water, food, we have sanitary supplies. We're just currently organizing, trying to make it at least a little bit more presentable, so easy access.
Why is it important to have this setup here for you guys?
Some of us will stay overnight. Like last night, I got here at 8 p.m. and I've been here since.
I'm told this is also a medic tent. Is
Yes.
that true?
Yes.
Can you show me some of that?
Yeah. Can't right now
Okay.
because it's a
you're
little bit
organizing.
covered. But we
Why,
have
what you got in there?
first aid. we have water to clean out eyes, wounds if need be, Band-Aids. I'm not a medic person, but we do have people who come in and take care of people.
Gotcha. And then you were able to take a look at the video I showed you earlier of Caroline Leavitt making some statements about Portland.
We're gonna look at
wanted
that
to get
too.
some of your reaction on that.
I stopped watching it. It's demonizing.
Disgusting.
And I would just have to say, who is the problem here? We're here doing what any American says they want to do. We're using our First Amendment right. She kept saying, and all of the people in her party attack people. We're out here trying, like, some homeless people come in. We'll give them food, we'll give them shelter, we'll try to take care of them as much as possible. We're out there just trying to make sure everybody's being safe.
What about, the videos and stuff of people attacking the building or, throwing stuff, the claims that ICE agents have also been attacked?
From what I've witnessed, I see the reversal. The ICE people have used excessive force. And then, just like with police brutality, cry victim, and as they're shoving people into the ground and hurting them, they're going to flinch, they're going to cry out in pain, and they're treating that as a pain on themselves.
So there's no attack on ICE agents. There's no assault on ICE agents.
Really?
We will go up to them. We'll be far enough away. Even when I film, I make sure I'm a good distance away so I can film everything going on. I will not confront them like how close we are. I will make sure to stand further back. Most people are doing that. And we're not trying to intimidate you. We're just saying this is not okay.
What happened with the arrest of this morning of the conservative journalist? What's been going on here with some of the streamers on both sides?
I'm not 100% sure, but from what I've watched and heard, it's reaching. What gives you that power and that reach to do something like that? If you have so much belief in the government, let the government do its job. If that's what you believe, let the government do its job.
Can you clarify what you mean about that? Go into detail a little more.
There have been a lot of people who've been saying the ICE are doing their job, the police are doing their job, let them do it. But what I've noticed, it's a bit hypocritical. The only people that they want arrested are people like us. But once it's one of their own, all of a sudden it's gone too far.
Can you talk to me a little bit about what's been going on with people on both sides of this streaming and then having these confrontations, on their live stream and stuff? I mean, we've been seeing that.
It's content farming. It's rage
Straight
baiting.
up.
It's exactly what it is.
Does any of that happen when folks are kind of stepping into the driveway? I mean, when you step into the driveway, people are going to come out, right?
There actually happened something like that yesterday. There was this gentleman, I guess, who ended up getting arrested last night, who kept shoving his camera with his light in women's faces. Only women. Whenever a man stepped up, he would side past them and go directly to harassing the women. I ended up coming up to him, being like, hey, that's not okay. He ended up trying to swing at me and fell in the little ditch over there. And then later on that night, I guess he tried to swing on somebody else and got arrested.
Was that Nick or someone else?
I'm not 100% sure.
Was he wearing a light blue sweater?
To be honest, I don't know.
What do you make, I mean, this is like kind of a broad question, but what do you make of sort of the threats to Portland to send more federal officials, to cut more funding, to investigate PPB? What do you think that is about?
Power. It's strictly
control.
Unfiltered power. It's a dictatorship.
What do you think leaders in Portland should do?
Stand behind the community that is Portland. Stand up for us. Speak for us. Don't just make empty promises. Actually put your words to action and protect the city.
How do you think it's going to go today if the federal judge grants the TRO?
Do you want my...
Okay.
Do you want to show me here?
And saying Portland's on fire. I live 6 blocks from here. We don't have any fires. We had helicopters going over our heads. My heart is broken. I was raised to love this country. And I do love this country, but what we're doing now isn't American. It's un-American and it's hurting people.
Will you be out here all day?
No, I come and go. I come and visit and talk with the people here, and there are a lot of good people here, and a lot of church people come. These people are good people.
All in the name of Jesus. All right, so let's move on to some of the clips and stuff here. Let's just show this right here.
There you go. What do you think about these protesters?
I've been documenting this for 3.5 months every day, calling them domestic terrorists. And Trump finally labeled them as domestic violent terrorist organization, like I've been, and I have the record of it. Get the back.
Your name is Billy, right?
Yeah, my name is Lavelle Howard. You want the real name?
Thank you.
Oh, damn. They rolled up on him real quick. This is a clip from Nick Sortor.
Yeah, how much medication are you on? Yeah, look at what's wrong with you? You guys are mentally ill.
Would you say these people are mentally ill?
Yeah, they're mentally ill. They're on drugs. Look at their pupils. Look at all my videos. They're all out here drinking at night. They're all getting drunk. They're all on drugs. That's why they're going to get hit with conspiracy charges, RICO charges, domestic terrorist charges, and the leader is Chandler. He lives in a building right over here. He's the leader. I've interviewed him 10 times. The funny joke is everybody poops at Chandler's. Everybody does poop at Chandler's. That's what they do, because he lets all the Antifa members go to his house and they have parties. They get drunk. This is what they do. They pay them to come out. They pay homeless people to get drunk out here. So it's an organization. It really is an organization where there's plans being made. People are getting paid. People have places to go and shower and bathe. So it's an organization.
People have said Antifa is not an organization. Do you believe it's an organization?
100%.
And are these people dangerous?
Very dangerous. Most of
Eric Stone, thank you so much for the 5. And Army with Harmony, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate the support.
them are they're on a lot of medication. They get very violent. You know, it's It's crazy how violent it gets, especially at night. It's going to really pick up tonight. As soon as it gets dark, they feel like they can get away with the law, breaking the law. This is a third world country. At nighttime, I've been chased down these tracks. Like all type of shit's happen, bro.
I talked to this guy too. He's a white nationalist.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
I'm not touching him.
Don't you. Don't touch you. We can be here just as much as you can be here, motherfucker.
That is true. We do have the right to be here.
You guys don't run shit, motherfucker.
That is true. We do have the right to be here.
Damn, man, I want to go roll out with these guys. Okay, so Nick Sortor was arrested, man. Wow. Last night, he tagged the Portland police. You made a big freaking mistake. You proved what we've all been saying for years. You're corrupt and controlled by the violent Antifa thugs who terrorize the streets. You thought arresting me would make me shut up and go away? You couldn't have been more wrong.
This guy was just like thanking them for.
I'm arrested last night. Everybody has pretty much been in an up and roar because of that.
And troops ordered to Portland by President Trump. We've been closely monitoring the demonstrations happening outside the ICE facility all week. And we've seen confrontations between protesters.
YouTube, if you guys could hit the like button to it, I appreciate that. Help out in the algorithm. Thank you.
And agents result in some arrest. We want to go live now to Fox 12's Leslie Dominique. She joins us from near the ICE building in South Portland. Leslie, what have you been seeing tonight?
It's felt a bit more rowdy than in comparison to other nights this week. I do want to give you a look at the scene behind me. Not too long ago, we did see DHS officers detain one of the demonstrators out here on the street. There is some type of incident occurring further down the street right now, but we're going to focus in on what we're seeing. On the roof, you can see those DHS officers as well, and they've been documenting video of what's been going on here all day long. Now, some of this rowdiness is because partially is a larger presence of counter-protester presence, and we saw DHS agents deploy pepper balls, and the Portland police officer at the scene told us an ambulance was called for a protester who was hit with the spray. Now, take a look at this striking video, which shows an American flag set on fire during one of the protests today. Our crews also captured video of, yes, and you might be seeing that video right now on your screen of that flag set on fire. Our crews also captured video of several demonstrators getting detained. We counted at least 4. Here you can see a man in a white shirt being escorted into the ICE building. In another clip, officers appear to be partially carrying a demonstrator inside. And in this video, there's a struggle on the ground between a protester and officers before the individual is taken into custody. On the ground between a protester and officers before the individual is taken into custody onto ICE property. Now, at the moment right now, live at the scene, there is some type of altercation going on here. I'm not really sure what's happening. I know there's a lot of yelling going on here, so we're going to try to get a better look at what's happening here.
This place right here, we were seeing this during the No Kings Day protest where these people were out here. They were banging, they were breaking glass, they were doing all kinds of crazy shit.
There's a large presence of people down the street crowding over here.
Like the front building of the ICE place, they were breaking into it.
Next to Southwest Moody Avenue. So we're going to try to figure out what's going on over there. A lot of yelling going on here, but for now, we will continue to keep you updated. We're now reporting in South Portland, Leslie Dominique, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Leslie, stay safe. Well, a major development in Oregon's legal action to try to stop the deployment of 200 National Guard troops to Portland. The federal judge initially assigned to the case has recused himself from it after the Department of Justice filed a motion saying he might have a conflict of interest. The Trump administration filed for Judge Michael Simon to recuse himself from the case because he's the husband of Democratic Representative Suzanne Bonamici. It referenced the press conference over the weekend where Bonamici joined Governor Tina Kotek to criticize the president's decision to deploy National Guard troops to Portland. Here's part of what she said.
And I tell you, I am in Portland a lot. I was at the ICE facility a couple of days ago. I was in Portland yesterday.
It's fine. There's nothing going on.
For a meeting and last night for an event. Nowhere did I see one single indication that we need military troops here. Sending military troops here will only make it dangerous, not just for people in Portland, but for the entire region.
The DOJ says while it recognizes Bonamici and her husband, Judge Simon, speak for themselves, the political role the Congresswoman has played in opposing the president may create the appearance the judge is being partial to where she stands. The judge put out a statement shortly.
Okay. Keep it pushing. Just spoke on the phone to Nick Sortor after he was released from custody. He tells me he's been charged with disorderly conduct. I asked what happened. He says he was getting video of protesters getting maced by federal agents, which was embarrassing video for them as they were crying. He says they then swarmed and surrounded him, pushed him into a flower bed, and someone threw a punch. Nick says he swung back and missed, then disengaged, walked over to a group of Portland police. He says he was then shocked to be arrested by them, and he sat in the back of a police cruiser while officers figured out what to charge him with. I asked him what about the female protester who was also arrested with him. He said he talked to her in jail, and she didn't seem like she was the one who assaulted him. Moving on. Here's some more video. Scuffle leads to right-wing influencers arrest in Portland. There's no. Oh, is there audio? Yeah. That's him right there. That's Nick. Hold on, let's start it over again. See?
With the flag.
Okay, so he's there with the flashlight. That's Nick right there. He's holding the flashlight, I guess, with the camera. It's being recorded.
With the flag.
There is a mob. It looks like they're attacking him. He got pushed to the ground. Flower bed, I guess. He's surrounded.
Hey!
He's pushing back a little bit. And that, you got to be like a strong person too. If you're in a situation like this, imagine, and you're surrounded by a fucking mob, a group of people, and to still like stand your ground and kind of fight back, where other people would probably cave and run. You know,
Mark's a veteran. He's got it.
So he's walking off now, or at least trying to, walking off. They're following him too, keeping an eye. Antifa.
And look at Portland PD just hanging out, watching people get assaulted.
We've already
He said Portland PD. That's I've seen a lot of them just watch people get assaulted.
seen that President Trump successfully made D.C. safe again in only a few weeks. That same crime crackdown will continue to happen in cities across the country and is happening in Portland, Oregon. President Trump will end the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all. The president has directed Secretary Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other left-wing domestic terrorists. What's been allowed to happen in Portland, and we saw disturbing video footage of this last night, this is not peaceful protesting, this is left-wing anarchy that has been destroying this great American city for years, leaving police officers battered, citizens terrorized, and business properties damaged. Since early June alone, Antifa terrorists have laid siege to the ICE field office in South Portland. These radical left-wing lunatics have violently breached the ICE facility by using a stop sign as a battering ram, hurled explosives and other projectiles at law enforcement, repeatedly assault and dox officers, berate their law-abiding neighbors, and have even rolled out a guillotine in front of the ICE facility.
No way. I didn't know that.
More people should be reporting on that. President Trump has sent federal law enforcement to protect federal assets and arrest those fueling this violence. Just last night, we saw an extremely troubling incident where conservative journalist Nick Sortor was captured on video being taken into custody by the Portland police after he was ambushed by Antifa and was defending himself from these assaults. But instead of arresting these violent mob members night after night after night who are ravaging this community, the police arrested a journalist who was there trying to document the chaos, and everyone in this room should be extremely concerned about that. The Department of Justice spoke with that journalist this morning, and they will be launching a full investigation into his arrest.
It's surprising to me how weak the Portland Police Department is, because this is like, oh shit, I closed something I wasn't supposed to. this is like an embarrassment to them because, you know, I would think most places they have some type of law and regulations. Like if you're in a neighborhood for like playing all this loud music into the wee hours of the night, making all this noise and attacking and violence. Wait, hold on. Let me pull up the clip that I took down by accident. I want to show this right here. Okay, this is it right here. Steven Crowder talked about it.
Look, just to be clear, I don't have all the information, and it looks obviously there like he hit back. I don't care. No. I don't care, because I will tell you this. Those Proud Boys should never have been arrested in most of those instances. I don't know all of them. I'm sure they're... But the truth is, Antifa shows up to commit violence all the time. Yeah. And if they even so much as hint at starting it, defend yourself. I don't care what they did, and I don't care what he did in response. The Portland police arrested Nick Sortor. They gave him a disorderly conduct. I don't know if he was charged, but he was arrested. And he posted about it. He said, hey, Portland police, you made a big freaking mistake. You proved what we've all been saying for years. You're corrupt and controlled by violent Antifa thugs who terrorize the streets. You thought arresting me would make me shut up and go away. You couldn't have been more wrong. Stay tuned and go support him. Follow him at Nick Sortor on X. Look, guys, right now, we do have to stick together. This is when the left puts on a team jersey and they do unify. And that's how you get everybody to be on board with biological men in women's sports. That's how you get everyone to be on board with sanctuary states that take your kids from you to give them puberty blockers. That's how you get everyone on board in saying that Donald Trump is a fascist. They follow lockstep. And then someone goes out, puts their neck on the line for the right, and immediately we start to get disenfranchised.
Okay, that was Steven Crowder. The exact moment I lost all patience with Antifa and the peaceful protesters who have been terrorizing Americans outside of the Portland ICE facility.
That ugly bitch. Then do it. Okay, so these women are very upset.
This lady, I think, gets maced. I have a video of that, too.
Because ICE is not coming to protect them after they've been screaming at ICE. And I was asking her, hey, like, why do you want ICE to come and help you if you hate them so much? And
that's ironic with these people, too, because you're some of the same people that wanted to defund police, but at the same time are calling them when in their time of need.
Now she's insulting me and telling me that I'm fat.
Really should just stop eating sugar. You should really stop eating sugar.
For sure. Yeah. You should probably get off of your SSRIs because you're kind of crazy, girl. Anyway, so we are currently in front of the Portland ICE facility. We got this woman over here screaming at ICE agents in Spanish. I wasn't sure what she was saying. You got this guy over here who's like straight up mentally ill. I don't know what's going on up there. We got the ICE agents up here. You have these women right here. They hate the ICE agents. They're so angry with them. But then as soon as somebody from the right wing comes and makes them mad, they immediately say, please help us. Please come arrest these people. And they're asking the police for help. It's insane.
Job, babe.
What's their job? What's their job?
Arresting people who are assaulting people on public property.
Like you guys?
Oh, who am I assaulting? Who am I assaulting? Who am I fucking assaulting? You see me touch anybody, bitch? You see me touch anybody, bitch? What are you? You got me assaulting people?
I'm standing here and I can catch your breath. What is going on? Well, you're wearing a mask, so that's probably your breath.
How are you catching the breath with that mask that you're hiding, little coward? Hiding your face and everything else. How are you catching the breath? Oh, he took it off. He took it off.
Oh my God.
Silencing journalists. They have been attacking ICE facility members out here. And they have been screaming at women just like myself. These people are so unhinged and ridiculous. And they have been doing everything in their power to...
Yo, imagine living in this neighborhood. I would move out. I mean, I know some people don't have the option, finances and stuff. It's got to be a nightmare to live in this neighborhood.
So much chaos and lawlessness, and now they're here harassing me. Oh my God! They're harassing me in the front of the driveway! Good Lord! Oh my, Portland, Oregon. Shame on all of you.
Shame on you! Like half these people online hiding. Nobody knows what you look like. You can't see their face. He has a whole... you can barely even see this guy's eyes. It's like, why do you look like that? But we can't see what you look like. Lady in Pink, thank you so much for the 10. Appreciate it. I'll take a victim complex for 1,000, Alex.
Good Lord! Oh my, Portland, Oregon. Shame on all of you.
Shame on you.
These are the people that are out here basically calling for violence against half the nation, stating that people like myself deserve to die. So there you guys go. Who are you? Why are you wearing a helmet in the middle of the damn night, wreaking havoc on the street? You look.
Why are they wearing a helmet and ballistic?
Wow. Mamma mia. We saw that already. The White House, which is going to be interesting. Also, Nick here said that the assistant AG Harmet Dillon has already sent a letter to the city of Portland demanding documents related to Portland PD's targeted arrest of me, as well as the refusal to arrest Katie Davis Court's attacker. Katie Davis got attacked the other day. I didn't see the video. I have a picture like her. It was in one of my tabs. There's so many tabs, I don't know. I had a picture of her face somewhere. There it is. Her attacker has been arrested. Or they let them out. I shouldn't have to post my injury, but since one of the main Antifa agitators involved in the Portland PD's Portland ICE occupation is defaming me, here's a look at my black eye given to me by one of her terrorist comrades. So they decked her, punched her in her shit.
This turned into this after several days of healing. Let's go through that again. How did this turn into this after multiple days? How does that work? I don't see swelling here. I don't see any impact over here. Let's compare it to the other eye. Is there much of a difference between the swelling of these two? You see it? Because I fucking don't.
Doesn't it progressively get worse?
And you're supposed to be a fucking journalist? Shame on you. Shame on you for fucking lying. Shame on you for perpetuating a false narrative. Shame on you for having armed MAGA chase down a minor and multiple unarmed people down the fucking street. Shame on you for coming to a city you don't even live in a state that you don't even live in.
I want to come there too.
This is going to be crazy for me to say this, but shame on you for admonishing the police of that city just because they didn't believe your bullshit story. I am so fucking tired of seeing you chase people around, get way too fucking close to them, and then act shocked when you run into shit. I'm sick of it. And the rest of the world that has 2 fucking brain cells is sick of it too. If you were a journalist of any substance or quality, you wouldn't need to make up stories just to make money. You could have done anything else. Instead, you lied about the city of Portland. You lied about the peaceful protesters outside of the ICE facility.
It's mostly peaceful protest.
Causing the president that is on his deathbed, both physically and mentally, to believe that there is a lot more going on in Portland than there actually is. Fuck you, Katie.
Oh, damn, nasty lady. So yeah, Katie posted that. And so that's the post here that Nick was talking about, that the attacker hasn't been arrested. And so this was like a letter here to Dear Mr. Taylor and Chief Day, your immediate attention to this matter is required. We write regarding Portland Police Bureau's PPD response to incidents surrounding the Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE facility in Portland, and specifically the city of Portland's use of its policing powers in a manner that may be based on viewpoint discrimination. Specifically, 3 issues have been brought to our attention. PPD reportedly arrested individuals who may have been involved in an altercation, choosing to arrest Nick but not others. Number 2, PPD reportedly failed to identify or arrest individuals who allegedly assaulted Katie Davis Court. Even after briefly detaining the individuals, the city of Portland reportedly has attempted to use its policing powers through zoning enforcement action to limit ICE's use of Portland's facility. While we have not reached any conclusions on the allegations, we note a consistent theme in these 3 allegations. All 3 would choose one viewpoint over another. Moreover, the allegations implicate the city's performance under the settlement agreement in the above referenced case. To address our compliance concerns raised by these allegations, we request the following by no later than October 10th. The original unredacted body-worn camera recording of the officers involved in the observation of the incident involving Mr. Sortor, his arrest, and processing following arrest. The original unredacted BWC recording of the officers involved in the observation, same thing, Ms. Davis Court. All unredacted incident reports, force reports, arrest reports, general order reports, blah, blah, blah. All complaints received about the incidents involving Mr. Sortor and Ms. Davis Court. Okay. Which they can request it anyway, Freedom of Information Act. They should be able to get that. Sam's mom, thank you so much for the 10. My husband and I are putting our Trump shirts and a big American flag and heading down there when I get home in 2 weeks. I wish it wasn't so far from me, but this seems so interesting to me. I'd be interested to go out there and just record or stream. But I have so many obligations here at home. My daughter, I have her here like 95% of the time, so it's hard for me to like just get up and go. Here's Nick Sortor talking about the situation. What? Muted.
They had multiple punches at me. They broke my camera by hitting that. So I was on the ground at that point. I tried to swing. I missed. I saw the opportunity to get up and get away. And that's when I went over to the police officers, which I thought, maybe they'd help me. But no, instead they threw me in handcuffs. This is going to backfire on them tremendously. It already is, okay? People knew that something out here stunk and that it was corrupt and that the police they take the side of the violent criminals that are here every single day, assaulting ICE officers, assaulting journalists. And then a reporter comes and, tries to embed deep within the chaos that's going in out here, and he's the one that gets arrested?
And Nick went on to say he got a personal phone call from Attorney General Pam Bondi informing him that DOJ is launching a full investigation into the Portland Police Bureau in relation to his arrest out here last night. But it doesn't stop there. DHS also giving their reaction to this, announcing that as a result of this arrest, DHS is going to be surging CBP and ICE here to Portland.
Andy has commented on this and said, here's what I unfortunately witnessed and learned in Portland. If you are labeled right-wing and are a victim of Antifa or far-left violence, Portland police will not help you nor arrest your assailants. If you attempt to defend yourself, you will be arrested and prosecuted and likely convicted. In 2017, I testified at a trial of conservative independent journalist Lafayette Libs, who was charged with nearly 24 felony and misdemeanors for brandishing a legally owned gun in self-defense when a violent BLM Antifa mob pursued him downtown in 2016. Police treated Michael Strickland like a terrorist, and a Portland judge convicted him of the charges. He was imprisoned. Wow. That's that brandishing stuff, man. That can get you, in some heat and some fire. So supposedly, is the National Guard there yet? I haven't heard that they've actually arrived in Portland. Have they arrived in Portland yet? They're supposed to be coming. They're preparing. And so the Portland police, they've been getting a lot of criticism and a lot of just heat. And so this is what I saw earlier today while we were covering Diddy. I was like, oh, they made a post. And then we're going to get to the press conference. The Portland Police Bureau is aware of public interest following several arrests made during demonstrations in South Waterfront on the night of October 2nd, 2025. Among those arrested was an individual known to have a significant social media presence, as well as others representing a range of political viewpoints. That's Nick. As with all situations, arrests are made on observed behavior and probable cause, not political affiliation or public profile. Formal charges will be determined by the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office. PPD remains committed to protecting public safety. You guys look horrible and weak. From what I've seen, wow. Upholding the rights of all individuals lawfully assemble and enforcing the law impartially. Nick Sortor said, you guys are about to learn a very expensive lesson. I wonder if he's going to sue. People are furious because of the latest arrest of Nick is part of a long history of your leadership directing the arrest of low-hanging fruit, which usually means those on the right. It came 2 days after you let a violent assailant of Katie simply walk away, even as she desperate flagged down one of your officers, followed the fleeing suspect and pointed her out. Here's the flag incident too. Let's do this. Antifa burned the flag. Nick Sortor saved it. I thought this was really dope of him to do too, to step in and stop this, even though he didn't have to get involved or have anything to do with this. Watch this.
Y'all
your flames. We got a Trump supporter. We got a Trump supporter right here.
He grabs the flag and just puts it out.
He's putting it on the ground and he's making it worse. And now he's standing on it. Now he's standing on it. You're not supposed to stand on it. Oh, now he thinks he's saving it.
They were pissed. They didn't like that. Oof. They were pissed. This is the attack again, in case you didn't see it.
With the flag. They're fucking him up.
Hey! Mark's a veteran. He's got it.
And look at Portland PD just hanging out watching people get assaulted. With the flag. They're fucking him up.
Hey! Mark's a veteran. He's.
I am going to show you something else, though, from the Portland Antifa Portland, that they made a post about Nick saying that he shoved some ladies. We're going to get into that as well. Nick Sortor, I kept this flag and I will bring it home with me. Took this photo shortly after my release from jail. So he kept the burned flag, partially burned flag. That's Nick Sortor. The Portland police are now colluding, allegedly, with Antifa to prosecute federal officers protecting the ICE facility. Each federal officer engaged with Antifa Portland police liaisons collects statements and videos from Antifa to facilitate state criminal charges against DHS agents. The officers do not intervene when they witness Antifa committing assaults, vandalism, or trespass, famously refusing to arrest journalist Katie, her attacker, and more recently arresting ex-independent journalist Nick Sortor for disorderly conduct. Now, I did see something to counter that. I don't know where that's at, but I did see something that says that, or they claim that they can't investigate the ICE agents, the police can't.
Wait! Hold up! Hold
Absolute fucking fluid. You guys just blue line is bigger than your fucking limit. You got inflected form, you're fucking hard.
Okay. Update. An update on this guy, by the way. If you don't remember this guy, he is like one of these Antifa people. He was arrested and he was shivering and quivering. And before this, he was talking a whole bunch of crap. But once he got pulled in and dragged in, so here's the update video. He's already been released. Let's see.
There you go.
Look at this angry motherfucker. Yep, because of savages like you.
That's why your buddy is dead. That's why your buddy is dead.
Because of savages like you.
That's why he's dead.
Yeah.
That's why your buddy is dead.
Yeah.
Your government goes for us. Make everything fucking shit. That's why he's dead. What? Your police too is make everything garbage. He got peace.
That's what they think. Take that mask off and say that.
Same shit.
But why do you have a hat that has an American flag on it? It says America.
USA! 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 USA!
Okay. I want to get to this press oh, this was kind of funny. I made a call to avenge Nick Sortor last night, 0 hour. check out what they did to this person in this inflatable costume, I guess. Yo, I guess this is like a breathing hole or something. They went and sprayed mace, or tried to at least, into that hole. Oh my god. Oh no. The vent, yeah. This chick, the same chick that we saw at the beginning of the stream, here she gets maced. And so they're saying, we witnessed the female protester get maced in the face by a federal agent in front of the Portland ICE building last night. She was yelling, but we didn't see anything physical. We then saw Portland PD liaisons collecting video of the incident from witnesses afterwards, and they told our producer they were investigating potential wrongdoing by the federal agent. So maybe it is true that they're trying to investigate these agents. We reached out to the Portland PD to ask about this. They said that supposedly the PPD does not have authority to investigate federal officers who are operating in the scope of their employment. I have talked to the officers that are out there, and they certainly did not tell anyone that we were investigating. So I don't know what's going on. Are they preparing for a lawsuit? There's people out there collecting evidence.
You body check it because what?
Who is talking to you? No. Hey, this is the line that they created.
Yeah, she got sprayed.
Anybody got some saline?
Saline, please.
Oh, she's screaming now. She was talking all that shit with the other girl. Oh my god, what a tragedy.
I need saline. We have some saline. Medic!
I can't breathe!
Medic!
I can't actually breathe!
Yo, you guys remember at the beginning of the stream she was talking all that shit?
You body check it because
what the hell?
Who is talking to you? No. Hey, this is the line that they created.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, she was just talking there. She didn't.
Wow. Anybody got some saline?
Saline, please.
Wow.
I need saline. We have some saline. Medic!
I can't breathe! I can't actually breathe! We're gonna body.
Okay, all right. So we move on from that. That was kind of. Tim Pool says, I keep warning y'all the cops in Portland are communists, but these conservatives keep making excuses. This was the flag thing. We covered that. Nick stopped the guy. He got arrested. I guess maybe this was his mugshot. We're going to get into this. Let's do the press conference though. Hold on. Let me get the press conference. So the Portland PD, I think the heat has been so much on them, so much so that now they made a press conference today. They made a tweet and then a press conference to address the situation that's happening. Let me just skip forward.
No, just Chief Day will open up with some opening remarks, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. And I just want to say out of the gate, I appreciate everyone's patience and understanding today, wanting to talk to Chief. But of course, we had some stuff to take care of first. So I'll hand it over to Chief.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. I'd like to believe we're here to talk about the great work Police Bureau's done recently. For example, the fantastic burglary ring we closed out yesterday, got several indictments on. I'd like to be here to talk about the fact that we've had 4 of our officers in the last 2 weeks endure deadly force incidents, and I'm so grateful for their safety and for their well-being. I'd like to be here to talk about how proud I am and appreciative of the members of the Portland Police Bureau, both our professional staff and our sworn staff, who every day rise to the occasion to serve Portlanders at a level that is really exceptional. And I would put this police department up against any department in the country. I recognize that's not the case. I recognize that we are here to talk about a very small portion of the city of Portland that's receiving a higher degree of attention, and that's not lost on me. And last night we did make a series of arrests down there where we took people into custody who were engaging in disorderly conduct. We've referred those cases to the district attorney's office for review and evaluation. I want to be clear, and we have been clear since the beginning of the year, that we will not tolerate violence or vandalism. We've made over 24 arrests down there in the last several months. We have invested hundreds of man-hours and hundreds of thousands of dollars in an attempt to provide a safe environment for all members of South Waterfront, and we will continue to do so. At the same time, we have a very under-resourced police bureau that is attempting to manage the needs and the expectations of the entire city, of all of Portlanders. And so have there been opportunities or times where maybe we were delayed in our response or not able to engage in the way that we would want to and provide that level of service? Certainly. But that argument can be made across the city. That's why I'm constantly reminding us about the importance of a fully funded, fully staffed police department. And finally, there is no political bias associated with our enforcement. Last night, the arrests that we made based upon probable cause, not based upon individuals. The actions we've taken this week, although it has involved some high-profile folks, I've learned some names and learned some things about social media that I wasn't fully aware of. And the reality is, I know that those voices have impact. It is not lost on me the context in which we are working in and attempting to negotiate. But the Portland Police Bureau is committed to the rule of law, which is applicable to all of us, regardless of our political affiliation, our gender, our age, our race, our economic status, or our political leaning. It doesn't matter. And that's what we are going to stay adhered to. And we've done that since my tenure. We've done that in the 29 and a half years I served beforehand, and we're going to continue to do that. Thanks. I'll take questions.
What do you make of the Department of Justice saying they're going to launch an investigation into the Portland Police Bureau following the arrest of a conservative online influencer?
Well, I would say that the Department of Justice has been investigating the Portland Police Bureau since 2012. Oh, wow. And I would say that the actions and steps that we are taking now in law enforcement, in the enforcement action around protest activity, is actually designed and supported and created by their partnership with the Department of Justice under this settlement agreement. I would say that in 2020, under the original administration, that we were harshly criticized for the way in which we responded, and so 5 years later, as a learning organization, taking their input and their response, we have changed our response. So I have always been very transparent and welcoming of critique and evaluation of the Police Bureau. This direction that they are giving us, we will certainly comply with. We will provide the necessary information. I welcome the scrutiny. I am proud of the men and women and the work we're doing. I mean, this is actually an opportunity for Portland Police and the City of Portland to highlight the exceptional professionalism that I see every day.
When we're talking about that online influencer, can you go into detail about what he's accused of and what he was arrested for?
All I'm aware of is he was charged with disorderly conduct. I have not read the report, so I'm not familiar with the details of that, but disorderly conduct is typically associated some kind of disturbance. My understanding is officers became aware of a disturbance in the crowd, and then they went in and addressed that. And that's the approach we've been taking all along. And the reality is, what's unique, and this is a learning thing for me, this is a learning thing for us as an organization, is the high degree of visibility around the activity in the South Waterfront has brought in a variety of points of view. I mean, the amount of dissidence that's being expressed down there, not even directed at immigration or at the facility, but the amount of dissidence being expressed towards one another is at a fevered pitch. And that's where we need to start bringing the temperature down, because we are seeing all
That's a new thing now. Bring the temperature down. Bring the temperature down. These are the people that shot Charlie Kirk. Shot Trump, tried to kill him.
Of these different perspectives and all of these different opinions gather in this
always saying you're a Nazi.
Small,
so killing you is justified.
One block area, and then unable to manage that in an appropriate way, and so we have these acts of violence. We have these fights. We have these assaults. They are occurring. We are doing investigations. We are making arrests, and we are sending.
And what doesn't make sense to me, I know people have said like, oh, it's 1 block or 2 blocks or 3 blocks. Why can't these people manage that? It should be easy. Like if it was multiple blocks, like bigger distances, maybe it'd be harder. It's in a smaller area. You guys can't even handle that.
Those over to the district attorney's office for evaluation and hopeful prosecution. And we're going to continue to do that.
Chief, the notice from the Department of Justice is, towards you and City Attorney Robert Taylor. Have either of you received notice? Have you talked with City Attorney Robert Taylor about it?
Yeah, we've received notice, but that's the extent of it. We haven't had any other discussion about that. We have received notice, yes.
You mentioned bringing down the temperature. So after seeing clashes between protesters and counter-protesters last couple of nights, does EPB plan on changing their approach from the reactive targeted arrests that we've seen the last few days to more of a proactive approach to keep these two groups separate?
Yeah, so historically I have stayed away from commenting on operational strategies for a variety of reasons. One is safety of our members, as well as, it is an ever-evolving situation, so it's difficult to, predict or.
Whoa.
Officers have had a lot of success over the last few weeks and really over the last several months, developing relationships, stepping into this space. Even earlier this week when there was heightened degrees of tension, our dialogue officers were instrumental in getting a vehicle out that had driven into the crowd, et cetera. So we're going to remain on track with that. We are definitely staffing in a way where we believe we can handle and manage the events down there and make arrests. If it requires a shift, I will be relying upon my incident management team to give me recommendations about what that might look like in terms of visibility, in terms of segregation of the groups. There's always challenges that go with that. And then finally, I've been in touch with all of our regional law enforcement partners. I have tremendous support and confidence that, if need be, we can call upon them. The governor has been very supportive with the state police, and then I'm in regular contact with the mayor. So we have a system in place and a process in place to deal with these challenges. The difficulty is they're not simple. They're very complex. And, we have tried to boil this down to, a he said, she said, or a very binary conversation. That's not what this is. This is a very complex environment in a very tightly confined space. So it's very challenging to police in the traditional way. And I love the police bureau because I know we've got innovative, creative leaders and officers that will always be looking for suggestions about how to improve that.
That talks a lot.
There have been a lot of comments on both sides since last night. Is there anything that your team has seen or that you've even seen yourself that you feel the need to clarify or say, well, that's just not true?
Personally, have not seen a lot of comments because it may not come as a surprise to many of you, but I'm not glued to that. And I did watch football last night, and I didn't see a lot on there. But I have heard many comments, and the part that probably brings me the greatest deal of frustration or ire or sadness, whatever that emotion would be, is the accusation that our Portland police officers are making decisions based upon a political affiliation. The irony here is we were condemned in 2020 for our approach towards the left, and now we're being condemned in 2025 for our approach to the right. So I would say we've landed right in the middle of the fairway. And this is the nature of the rule of law. This is the application, appropriate application of the rule of law, that it is equitable across the board. It is also not lost on me that we have a lot of Portlanders who for a lot of years have suggested that we have been over officious or targeting them or discriminatory in our approach to them, usually based upon housing status or race or whatever it might be. So this is not unfamiliar territory for me or not unfamiliar territory for the police. And I have stepped into those spaces boldly and welcoming to hear those voices, and I'm willing to do that now with others. But I'm actually somewhat confident that we are actually doing the job that needs to be that's asked of policing in our society today, because we are being consistent and transparent with the application of the rule of law.
Joey, then Claire. On top of what the DOJ is saying, the White House press secretary told reporters this morning that this incident in particular is a troubling trend in Portland where left-wing mobs get to decide who can visit and live in their city. What's your response?
Yeah, well, that's just inaccurate. I mean, there's really not much of a response to give to that. I mean, look outside today. I've been all over the city. It's not left-wing mobs. This isn't, you know, I'm standing up here. I'm not standing up here with the governor or the mayor or anyone else. I'm standing up here as the chief of police of a major American city, telling you that we are doing the job that's expected of us as it applies to the application of the law, and that's what we're doing. The purpose of policing in America is to provide support and service to communities to allow for a level of predictability. None of us want to feel unsafe. What is universal for all Americans is the desire to feel safe. This is biological, it's natural, it's human nature. And when we don't feel safe, when it feels uncertain, when it feels unpredictable, we withdraw, we pull back, and then we don't engage in the social contract, and we don't.
Sam's mom, thank you for the 10. Says that black lady begged them to stop the noise because we do have a noise ordinance. She sued and lost. Only Portland police can arrest for noise complaints. 30-minute hold time for 911. I remember that lady. I wonder what happened to her.
We don't establish relationships, and we don't learn from one another. And we have created such an attitude of certainty and lost the art of curiosity that we are struggling to find a way to affirm that safety and vulnerability for all of us. And that to me is the crux of the issue. I absolutely welcome the opportunity to address crime and public safety in Portland. And some of that has to be done through enforcement. Some of that has to be done through arrests. But that is really not going to fix it. There's a difference between crime suppression and problem solving. And we can suppress crime, and we can be that, and we can be overt, and we can be intentional, and we can suppress crime. Let's really, and while we're working to reduce crime, look at those systemic issues that feed it as well.
Will Portland police release body camera video of the arrest last night, including the arrest of Nick Sortor?
Yeah, I would like to be able to release that. There's a process around redaction and, you know, faces and names and so forth, but I'm very open to releasing footage. I can't give you a time frame on that, but we will be trying to make that happen.
Zane? Chief, like you said, the temperature is really up in the area. There's been developments happening day after day. You know, Assistant Chief Dobson said in the court filing, specifically what you touched on, that the more that officers are down there, it pulls resources away from other parts of the city. What are you thinking about how long officers are going to be out there, whether that's BLOs, bike squad, RRT, like, because that can't, I imagine that can't be, you know, a long-term.
Yeah, we have to remember the human element in this, right? I mean, we are all struggling to find our way here, you know, regardless of individuals' roles and responsibilities. And I'm highly sensitive to the ask that I'm already placing upon a very stretched police department, just in terms of meeting the basic day-to-day functions. As I mentioned earlier, we made some great burglary arrests this week. We've made some great arrests and made.
Congratulations, you made some burglary arrests. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for the 5. Trendwreck Reality says that's a lie. In 2020, the left did whatever they wanted to, just like now.
Crimes were, you know, doing good work all across the board, and now we are pulling those members to do extra work and focus on a specific part of the city, which we do at other times in other places, so that's not unusual. But sustainability is a concern of mine, and I want to be sensitive to the demands we're asking of the officers. I want to be sensitive to the fiscal responsibility. This has a cost associated with it. And I also want to be sensitive to the impact of the people of South Waterfront. I would never want to convey to anyone in that part of Portland that it doesn't matter or it's not important or there hasn't been discomfort or disruption or loss. I'm sensitive to that. I also know that as I look across the city, there's a lot of places where that's occurring, and it breaks my heart that we can't meet all the demands that are asked of us, but know that we are committed to doing the best that we can, and we will take all that into consideration as we manage this incident.
Joey, a couple more questions. We'll go to Joey. A lot of people are pointing to what happened here in 2020 as they're critical of what's going on right now outside the ICE facility. And you said that you welcome the scrutiny and you've changed in the 5 years since then. particularly in your response to the situation. So what, I guess, talk about those changes that you've made as you deal with what's happening right now.
Yeah, so we have, first of all, we brought in a lot of outside resources to do an independent critique of us, and that came back with numerous recommendations of which we've applied. Second of all, we did work with the Department of Justice around our use of force policy and our crowd response and so forth, so we've been in regular communication with them. The creation of our dialogue liaison officer, I'm really proud of those men and women, the work they do, taking on this additional responsibility. They weren't told to do it, they asked to do it. They lean into it with all their heart and soul and have received additional training. We identify them differently with their white shirts and just super appreciate that. We have more of a stair-step approach to enforcement. We use our in their yellow uniforms, so we may be visible, but less of a perceived confrontational standpoint. Oftentimes in police work we talk about visibility, and visibility means a lot of different things to different people. For us, being visible in a uniform is something that I've done for over 3 decades, so I'm used to it, but for other people, seeing a uniform can maybe sometimes be offsetting. So we understand the impact of visibility, but we try to be visible, try and be present, try to offer warnings. Then we make announcements if we are going to make or move on people, or if we are going to have to direct folks. We make announcements, try and be clear in our communication. And then we make those targeted arrests. I think that's really key to know that when we move in, we're moving in to make a specific arrest. We're not looking to disrupt the whole thing. We want people to be able to express their First Amendment rights. We want people to be able to get their message out. So instead of looking at the whole crowd as a simple one, organism, we are looking at the individual problem people. And then finally, we do have the capability on a larger scale with more hard gear, the more traditional protest tactical response. We still have that available to us. Fortunately, we have not had to use that to a great extent, but I will always make sure our officers are 100% protected and safe in the job they do, and sometimes that gear is required. We haven't seen the level of violence down there yet to reach that, but that is a final piece, and that's kind of the more traditional approach that people maybe have remembered or looked at in the past.
Well, I'll do a couple more questions out of respect for Chief's time. Troy, did you have anything? I know you haven't asked one yet.
No, I'm all right. Thanks.
All right.
Got it.
Go. Wow.
Well, Blair had her hand up.
Go ahead, Blair.
So, yeah.
Just quickly, we've been hearing a lot that a lot of the starting of the clashes, I guess, between federal agents and protesters have been coming from outside conservative agitators. Is that something that you
Outside conservative agitators
officers have witnessed or seen?
Well, I can't speak to the affiliation of the agitators, whether they're conservative or liberal or left or right or whatever that moniker is.
Upside
what
down,
I know is that we are
Chinese
seeing an increase
flowers.
to people down there who appear to be intent on agitating the crowd and agitating the environment. What their motivation is, I don't know. I don't really care. The point is that we are not going to be accepting of violence in the city of Portland. It's just not acceptable. And can we get to every violent encounter in the city? No, we can't. And I wish we could. I wish we could be Johnny on the spot on all of them. But when we're present, when we're available, when probable cause exists, we will interdict that behavior. We will make arrests regardless of their intent or affiliation.
All right, right here, Claire. And then Joey, and then we're done.
What is your plan with the Department of Homeland Security planning to surge more officers here?
Well, we're going to stay the course. I mean, I've been that since the beginning. We're going to stay the course. Portland Police Bureau is going to continue to show up every day and do the good work that it's been doing for over a century now, and the good work it's going to be doing, Lord willing, a century from now. Because we cannot vary from our values. We cannot vary from our mission, which is to provide the highest level of safety to the city and to all of Portlanders. With that being said, I'm also in regular communication with our federal law enforcement partners. I've said that for months now. And we will talk to them, we will work with them, we will try to deconflict information the best that we can. I have been very grateful for the conversations I've been able to have with federal law enforcement leaders in the area, many of which are, from the area and engaged and want to see as well as what's best for Portland. The noise that's happening and the political theater that's happening, I can't do anything about that. That's just the world we exist in. And the unique thing about being a chief of police is I'm the most political position in the city, but I'm the only one that doesn't get elected. And in my job, politics and operations collide every single day. And so I'm going to understand and be in the political spectrum, but I'm going to focus on operational support so that Portlanders can be safe.
Joey, and then Shelby, and then that'll be it.
As we've tried to track what's going to happen with this National Guard deployment, has your Bureau been given a firm timeline of when we'll see boots on the ground here in Portland?
No, we have not. I would anticipate in the coming days, much like everyone else, but we don't have a a start date.
Is that something that you've been trying to get from the Department of War or whoever's in charge of this mission?
Well, we've been having conversations, but that's not been a priority of mine. I mean, I know that they've been, assigned and mobilized. That's been well publicized. As I said, I mean, that doesn't change how we show up. I mean, I'm sensitive to the fact that their arrival may spark maybe some greater unrest or some greater response, but we are going to be consistent, and we can't just, I don't want to be reactive. I want to be consistent.
Earlier this week, you said that we were talking about just one city block. But what do you have to say to the people who say, well, exactly, we're talking about one city block and Portland police haven't been able to control it?
Right.
Yeah, that's a great comment. And I've thought about that comment a lot.
Yeah.
I want to clarify a couple things. One, as I said earlier, that city block matters. So please don't infer in anything, shape or form that it doesn't. I was saying one city block in reference to the deployment of the National Guard. We don't need the National Guard for that city block. That was my intent.
Well, you guys can't handle it. So, yeah, we're going to get somebody else that can do the job because you guys can't. And this is not something that just, it's recent. This has been for months, at least since I've noticed the No King's Day protests. Months!
To, maintain, support, control, change, whatever the terminology is for that city block. Yeah, it's equally as frustrating to me as it is to a lot of people. Unfortunately, there's a lot of city blocks in the city of Portland that we're not able to meet that standard. And I hear from Portlanders every day, whether it be downtown, East Portland, North, Northeast, etc., who would welcome the attention and the effort and the investment that we are making in that particular area. Some of these problems that we're talking about, not just down there, but really citywide, I mean, as I said earlier, these are system issues. These are system issues. These are not just, clear out this or clear out this. This is system issues, and we need to have the whole conversation. We need to be able to talk about these competing truths and be able to hold them in a way that allows us to maybe find some paths forward. But as long as it's binary, as long as it's certainty, then, we're going to continue in sort of this circular motion of make arrests, make arrests, make arrests.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks a lot.
One last thing, my team and I are very cognizant of the fact that you and your colleagues want to talk to Chief regularly, but of course we have to honor the fact that he is running an entire bureau and there are other things going on here in Portland. So we respect his time, we respect what you need, and we're doing our very best to provide regular updates. So thank you for your patience.
Okay. There was an interview too. I want to get to this in a second. We're going to get to that too. Damn, I still got a lot of shit. Okay. Okay, we still got quite a bit. We got quite a bit. Okay. All right, hold on. Oh, Lord. Okay, that we can leave. Let me just queue up this real quick. I wanted to show you guys this because Nick went on Real America's Voice. And let's see what he had to say about the incident.
They think that there aren't going to be any sort of repercussions. These agents. They think that there aren't going to be any sort of repercussions, but of course, a lot of times there are. That's how you get these awesome F around and find out videos of them being maced, right? So naturally, I'm going to flock to that. I'm a journalist. I'm going to show what is happening. And the result that happens, these guys that act like they're super tough are now on the ground crying like little babies because they decided to push an ICE agent and they got maced in the face. So they don't want the world to see that they're not actually these tough military type figures, that they're actually just, I don't know if I can say that word on air, but
so Nick, so you're out there, you're filming, there's the mace, we saw the stuff with the American flag. What happened? What was going on immediately prior to, this you getting handcuffed?
Yeah, it was because they were upset that I was filming them after they were being maced. I was filming them on the ground crying. They're on the public sidewalk. I'm on a public sidewalk. I can film whatever I want to in public. And there's nothing they can do about that. They don't understand that. Of course. We're not dealing with the world's best and brightest here, Jack. So, and so they get mad in their way of handling that. When you don't immediately give in to their demands, they come at you physically, aggressively. But I'm not going to just surrender to them and stop filming because they threaten me and tell me not to. That's not how I operate. That's not how any self-respecting journalist should operate. So they decided to come after me. They decided to chase me down the sidewalk, as you can see in this video. And there's 10 of them surrounding me. They tried to jump in front of me. I'm actually heading to my car at this point. So I was trying to get through on the sidewalk, and they shoved me into this flower pit. And I got up and was able to like push my way out of the situation. And I go to the Portland police, and I stand next to this group of Portland police for like 7 or 8 minutes. You know, because that felt like a pretty safe place to be at the time, right? Little did I know I was going to end up being the one arrested rather than the people that just, you know, broke my camera, shoved me into a hole, and punched me. They didn't end up getting arrested. It was just me, as you can see in the video. And I mean, I was shocked by this. I did not, for a second, even when I was being handcuffed, I thought there were two possibilities here. Either A, they're pretending like they're arresting me just to get me out of the situation, like pretend like they're doing something, or B, it's totally a case of mistaken identity. Never did it cross my mind in these first several minutes that they were actually arresting me for something. It was unfathomable. And they didn't know what they were arresting me for either, because it took over an hour for them to figure out what the charge was.
So what exactly have you been charged with? I mean, we can see in this video that you're clearly defending yourself. Just
over on the side of the road in the cop car. I really know the answer to that question.
Yourself very well, by the way. You kept your composure. I know that wasn't easy.
So there's something else. Okay, so Layla had sent me this page. And this is Antifa out of Portland, their Instagram page. ICE out of Portland. Community members in Portland, Oregon who want ICE out. And something that I noticed that was interesting, they're saying this is Nick Sortor. Nick Sortor shoves a woman. Now he's crying victim after being arrested. Now, I'm going to play the video. But the video that's circulating around is when Nick was in the middle of, like, where was it? This group right here. But they put this video. The only thing one of the things I noticed, I guess this is him. I'm assuming this is Nick. It kind of looks like him, but the only thing I noticed, the clothes is different because this guy's wearing a black sweater and the same jeans. I don't know. Did he change clothes? Was this a different day? What's going on here? Because you see when he was arrested here, he has this like gray sweater, blue jeans. And then there's somebody here in like a black sweater. It says Nick Sortor shoves a woman. Now he's crying victim after being arrested. Let's play the video.
This is America. This is America.
Hey, you saw him fight that.
And this is the guy that got into a fight with somebody else and punched him.
You're all tell whatever fucking narrative you want.
This is America. This is America.
Hey, you saw him fight that. You're all tell whatever fucking narrative you want.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Was that him, or I don't know, what was that situation about? Nick Sortor. Oh, it's an old video from that one's from days ago. Ah, thank you for clearing that up, Maddie. Okay, I had some. So it looks like him, but the clothes were different, and so they're trying. Okay. All right. So the Antifa page just posted that. What else we got here? A couple things. Oh, Jesse Waters, breaking former member of Antifa, speaks out and takes us inside the domestic terrorist organization.
You have a lot of control in your life, and so if you can go out there and make yourself
it's not working.
a hassle, then that's better than being an anonymous kid.
That's true. So, I mean, what kind of violence were you guys getting into? Like explosives or vandalism? What?
Yeah. So it would have been about 9th grade or so. get on a few years. Growing up in Seattle, we had those the riots in '99, and yeah, I was ready to go, man. I had little Molotov cocktails in my bedroom and a copy of the Anarchist Cookbook that I had photoshopped or photocopied at the time from a friend of mine's older brother. It was just at the time, and like, oh, this is just a good time. And it's only later on that you get more involved with the ideas, the philosophies, the direct action ideologies that go deeper into, later on becoming like a full-blown anarcho-communist and syndicalist.
So what does that mean?
That's also not.
What was the ideology? Full-blown communism?
I mean, a lot of it is, these are accelerationism. It's not the slow march to the institutions. It is, we want this and we want it now. And one of the reasons that I got out of it is probably around 2014, 15, we started seeing groups come up to Seattle and Portland from California, and they were much more like, hey, you better get in line with this, and if you're not, there's consequences and there's pressure.
So you were being forced to take violent action, or else you might have been hurt?
Oh, not only that, but there was pressure, there was ostracization, things of that nature, where you might get into it, say, like, because you don't like bigotry in the music scene, and then later on it's you're going to adhere to these tenets and you're going to say and think these ways, and if you're on the fence at all, silence is violence, and your comrades are going to become a problem for you. Violence
is silence. Violence is silence. We'll get into that. Let's do this. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Portland police arresting Nick Sortor.
Well, it's absolutely outrageous. And I was watching the video clip that you played just before you brought me on before the commercial break, where it shows Nick actually taking the burning American flag and stomping it out. And this is an executive order that the president signed that you cannot burn the American flag. So it's extremely wrong that the Portland police arrested Nick Sortor instead of Antifa, who were the ones that were burning the American flag. And Brianna, what needs to happen is the Department of Justice needs to come in hard on the city of Portland with a major investigation into Nick Sortor, an independent journalist who was arrested. You talk about, that's something we see in communist countries. Journalists get arrested in communist countries, and they allow anarchy and communism to reign. And Portland has done that. They have partnered with the National Lawyers Guild, which is responsible for bailing out Antifa over and over again as they have attacked the government and attacked law enforcement officers. And I do believe that Antifa is a domestic terrorist organization, and I have high expectation of Trump's Department of Justice of coming down hard on Portland and coming down hard on the police that arrested Nick Sortor.
Yeah, and I think that's really important because Nick Sortor journalists to be attacked in Portland over these last few nights, and they're becoming increasingly violent, but they claim, and I listen to the mainstream media too, just to hear what they're saying, but they claim that Antifa is not an actual organization and that the president is overstepping with that executive order, and that it actually, they claim this, not me, that it infringes upon the First Amendment. What do you make of that argument?
Well, those are the lies that Antifa has told for years. I mean, you can trace this back well into President Trump's first administration. And even before that, we had Occupy Wall Street under President Obama. This is an organization that is well organized. They are well funded. And they are actually one of the biggest dangers in America. They truly are. They are against the government. They are anarchists. They are self-admitted communists. And they want to tear our country apart. So I believe they're domestic terrorists. I introduced legislation to label them as domestic terrorists, and I fully support President Trump and the Department of Justice in launching a massive investigation and prosecutions into Antifa, whoever supports them, those are elected officials, and whoever funds them.
Yeah, and Congressman, I want to talk about the legislation that you presented earlier this year. You've brought forward the legislation to designate them as a terrorist group. And I think that's really important that we do just that, because although President Trump did a great job at the executive order, if there's a Democrat that's in the next administration, they could just wipe that out and start from scratch again. Where does your legislation currently stand right now in the House?
Well, Brianna, you're bringing up something extremely important. Everything that President Trump is doing is temporary right now because Congress is not making it law. And this is a frustration of mine and an argument I'm having with our leadership in Congress, as well as some of those that actually serve in the White House. I believe that Congress's role in passing legislation, passing executive orders, passing bills is so critically important because we need that legislation to make it to the president's desk and signed into law.
I'm wondering, status quo out there. Let me see if they're live right now. I'm kind of curious to see what status quo has. Let's see if they're status co-op, I think. Status co-op. Not out there live. Oh, they.
Your reaction.
This was DHS Secretary Kristi Noem was blocked out of the entrance of Broadview City Hall and shouted as she attempted to go inside. Earlier today, we were covering, there was a protest, ICE protest, I believe.
We can?
Not allowed to go in.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Interesting. That's what Governor Pritzker says is cooperation and keeping people safe.
That's real. Thank you so much for the 25. Hey, love
So
Nick.
why wouldn't they let you in?
I wouldn't have his courage to stand out there without real police protection, surrounded by deranged Antifa loons. Please be careful, as cops in Portland are just as useless as the radical left politicians in that state. Thank you.
What's been going on here? What's been going on here, Secretary?
We were coming to go out and do some operations to pick up some guys with criminal convictions on them, and the city police wouldn't even let us use a restroom.
And you were just blocked by a worker here from the city?
A worker at the municipal building here in Broadmoor would not allow us to go in and to use a restroom at the police station. So as much as these local leaders and governors talk about cooperating and having the backs of our law enforcement officers, this is what we have to put up with every single day. And all we're doing is getting criminals and terrorists and cartels and gang members off the streets to make families safer here. It's ridiculous.
I mean, is impeding law enforcement? I mean, this is a real problem around here.
This is a real problem. I'm so proud of our officers that deal with this every single day. They know that America's got their backs, but what they face here every day is real prosecution.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's Kristi Noem. She was with Benny Johnson today. This is the other lady, Katie Davis Court, that was attacked. And apparently they didn't, I don't know if they, police refused to come in.
And waving the flagpole in my face, and then I kind of turned around, and that's when she swung it like a baseball bat and directly hit my eye. And now,
so she was trying to blind you. She was actually trying to blind you, and you know, a flagpole like that to the ocular socket. I mean, your brain is right there. There's serious, very, very serious injuries that could happen. And look, I'm sitting here in the Charlie Kirk studio. We all know how serious these things can get. And so when I got the report last night that this was going on, and you're out there just doing your job every single night, and God bless you for doing it. Obviously, we need to make sure there's better security out there. But, I got the report in and immediately got on the call with the administration. And I understand that Homeland Security was able to reach out to you.
Yes, I talked to them. They're so kind, and they're actually going to be letting some journalists into the facility. So hopefully that'll give me a little bit more sense of safety. But as you can see, I've been covering Portland since June 7th. And it has been completely taken over by anarchist, Antifa-affiliated domestic terrorists now. And police refuse to come in. And what we saw was Police Chief Day said that the National Guard is not needed. The Trump administration does not need to come in. But then when I go and hunt down the suspect who assaulted me, police officers are standing there, refuse to help me. And then when police finally show up, they say, oh, we can't go in because it is too dangerous. So is Chief Day lying to the American people, saying that the agency has everything under control? Oh, but the officers are telling me that it's actually too dangerous for them to go in. And it went from being, a war zone to Chief Day saying, oh, well, it's only a 1-block radius. It's actually about a 4-block radius because police refuse to go in anywhere near ICE. So it is every man for themselves in this zone, and the feds can only protect the federal building, federal property. So anyone who shows up is completely on their own. If violence happens to them, don't expect any help. That's a warning.
The Babylon Bee. Check out their post referring to Portland police. We wish there was some kind of organized armed force that could fight back against Antifa. Oh, man. Portland, Oregon. In a press release earlier this week, Portland Police Chief Danielle Outlaw, her actual name, really, Danielle Outlaw, appearing somber and exhausted, said that she just wishes there was some kind of group with firepower and authority to fight back against Antifa. In a candid moment, Outlaw, seriously her actual name, said there was nothing the police could do as they need to have some kind of organized armed force specifically created to protect and serve. What if we took money from everyone to fund a force that could defend them in their time of need? She pondered aloud. They could have patrol cars, firearms, and attack dogs. Maybe even some kind of tanks. That would be so freaking rad. They could have a badge to show their authority. Then when a rogue group like Antifa shows up to take out our city over every weekend, they could be repelled using force if necessary. I know it sounds crazy, but a girl can dream, right? She added wishfully. It's a satirical thing, but it's funny because it's like satire, but like truth in a way, it's like what the hell. Nick Shirley, Portland Antifa stop and harass the lady in a Tesla. Oh god. Nick Shirley is the G.
This lady's trying to get through the streets. They're not letting her through.
Oh, she messed up.
Go this way. They're not letting her through.
Tesla privilege right there, baby. Let's go.
This lady right here saying it's illegal for her to be coming through here. The police are stepping in.
Oh my goodness. You won't be able to get.
She hit a pedestrian. If you do not arrest this woman, you are complicit with this fucking administration. It's scaring me. She hit a pedestrian. Are you
Man, what do you want us to do, man?
going to arrest her, or are you going to continue?
We can't hear anything.
With this bullshit administration.
This is wild right now. You have the police going. You have these guys mad at me for filming this. This lady's crying.
I can't hear you.
I'm so scared.
This guy's just pretending. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. So there's nothing. People are useless. They let these people take over the city, take over the roads and shit. You can't even drive through. They're useless.
Somebody stamped the car with Trump Gestapo. Not welcome. Now this lady's trying to get out. What's your message to these protesters, ma'am?
Get a job.
Get a job. JLP.
Get a job. I didn't run anybody over.
Wow. Get a job, get some hobbies, get some aspirations. Do something with yourself, something with your life. Anything. Do something with yourself. This was earlier too, heavy military presence. This was in Illinois. That was earlier today. Them boys are not playing, rolling out the big guns. Do you know what a hospa is, Frank? It's a pig that flies too low.
So long, man. Have a good breath. Fuck you!
You want a job? All right. I guess I've reached the end of the stream. I think I've gone through everything I wanted to go through. Tonight, I'm going to keep a little eye out. I'm going to be chilling, relaxing, but I'm going to keep an eye out because to see what goes down with Portland tonight. Now, Portland is, I think, a 3-hour time difference from the East Coast, so it's going to be later on, I guess,
of attacks
before the action. Also, this was Benny Johnson speaking with Secretary Kristi Noem, saying that they will deploy the National Guard to Portland and Chicago within 24 hours. Let's check it out.
In Portland, a lot of news right now with various independent journalists that have been beat, that have been hit in the face, that have been locked up and arrested. What's going on there? Can you give us any status update?
Well, you've got a presence in Portland that is Antifa affiliated. And so that is a situation where you have known professionals, targeted violence that want to tear down America and will apparently attack anyone, even journalists that are just trying to report the truth of what's happening on the streets. So we're not just going to be rolling out of Chicago here, but we're sending in the Department of War at the request that I made to Secretary Hegseth. They're going to be rolling in here within the next 24 hours. Wow. They'll be coming to Chicago too. I put a request in today for them to come to Chicago. And we're going to not only have our officers that are out there with HSI and ICE, but we're also going to have backup from our military because everybody deserves that. And so what we saw happen to that journalist last night will not happen again. We will not allow that to happen again, where those individuals are persecuted for trying to show what's happening on our streets and for what they're doing to our law enforcement officers.
Okay. ICE arrested Chicago alderman Jesse Fuentes inside of a hospital emergency room simply for asking them to show a warrant for a man they detained. Let me see. Let's see what's going on here. This is some other breaking information. Heather was talking about this earlier.
Burn your laws. He has constitutional rights.
No.
He has constitutional rights.
Constitutional rights.
No, you need to leave.
For me.
Turn around. You're turn around and leave.
Yes.
He is under. I'm going to arrest you. You are going to be placed under arrest.
Do you have a signed judicial warrant for him?
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me, please?
Signed judicial warrant for him.
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me? This is an older person who's being under arrest. I need my other staffer who's in the hallway by registration to come here, please.
You are hurting. I am asking.
Can somebody get my staffer, please?
This is a hospital. Do you have a signed judicial warrant for him? I am asking. I am asking. I did not touch you.
We told you to leave.
I did not touch you.
Now you're under arrest for impeding.
I did not touch you. I asked you if you had a signed judicial warrant for him. It is very simple. It is very simple. That man has constitutional rights. I did not touch you. It is a public space. I am not trespassing. I am asking you. Do you have a signed judicial warrant?
Oh, man.
I am asking. Do you have a signed judicial warrant for him? It is a question, sir. You are an agent. You are a federal agent.
We do not need a warrant for somebody.
I am an elected official, and I am asking.
Come on.
Do you have a signed judicial warrant? I'm the alderman of this.
Can you keep recording on your call?
Oh man, what a tragedy! Somebody got arrested. What did he post here?
What? You really Mexican, Venezuela, get them all out of here. You know what? Fuck Cubans. They gotta go to. No, that's all over here now. That's all over here. Talking out of me, God. Can trace it. My God, can trace it through back to the Revolutionary War. I am home. Trump said go home.
Trump said go home. Trump said go home.
Trump said go home. Daddy Trump said y'all gotta go. I like Donald Trump. He said go home. If you don't like my people, get the fuck out of here. It's real simple.
real simple. You don't like my people? Get the fuck out of here. It's real simple. We're never going away, motherfuckers. Tens of thousands of years. We're never going away. You can never get rid of a native. You can never get rid of a native. You ain't got no land.
He said, you ain't got no land. There was that guy earlier today. Get, what did he say? Get off my land. Earlier today, for hours, somebody screaming, get off my land. Get off my land. They said, you ain't got no land.
No land.
You ain't right. You ain't
got no land. You ain't got no land.
He's like fed up, yeah. Shut up. You don't got nothing. You ain't got no land. Here's some more video from the Froggy thing. Nick Sortor posted this. A degenerate leftist who jumped onto federal property at the Portland ICE facility and challenged agents to do something about it, and they did quickly. Let's check it out. Oh, they got his ass. Oh, while they're running. Connection's messing up. Connection's messing up.
Because you're small yourself. Every single night on public property, and you want those on public
So they took him. All right, I'm going to get off for now, guys. Thank you so much. I have no notifications, but I will jump on later if something pops off. I want to, later on tonight, we'll see what happens with Portland. Maybe I can stream a little bit tonight. Some of the Portland stuff that happens, or who knows if anything else pops up. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me throughout the day today with Diddy and some of the Portland stuff. And we'll see what else pops off. But have a happy Friday. Stay safe. Felony Friday. I don't know what else is coming. I think Diddy got off light, though. 4 years, I think he got off light. Even though he was crying in the courtroom and like broke down and stuff. He got lucky. All right, guys. Peace. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop. Yes, I see you. Yes. Appreciate you guys. Bye. Bloop, bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop.